People are coming in. We'll give a bit more time for everyone to come in.
Sorry, give me some time.
Emily, are you able to unmute yourself? I'm not sure if that option is working right now. We'll give a few more minutes for people to join. I
think
know
we're just gonna wait a few minutes for the people to join, maybe like 5 minutes for others to join.
Yeah.
We can start at 2:05 or yeah, 2:05. Can you make me host as well or co-host?
I don't know if it's giving me the option. I can make you the host, but I can't make you the co-host.
That's fine.
For those of you that are coming in now, we're just gonna wait until 2:05 to start the meeting or to start the presentation. We're just waiting for people to join in. Okay, it's 2:05 right now. So we're gonna start soon. Before we start, actually, could you guys just type in the chat? Let me know what grade you're in, and also if you are a parent or if you're a student. I just want to have a general idea of the audience. Do you guys hear what I said? I guess, can you hear me? Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay. I think we can start now. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you guys very much for coming to this webinar. Today, we're just going to be giving a brief introduction into research. So going from how to find research opportunities to what benefits it can give you. And also, I'm going to be going over what our service is going to do to help you guys find research. So our team, we're called Scope Research. Our mission is to try to connect students with professors in the most streamlined and easy way possible. So first of all, I just want to give a brief introduction to our team. My name is Kevin, and I'm joined with Emily and Stephen. We're all incoming freshmen at university, and in high school, we've all done research in research laboratories. So hopefully we can help give some of the knowledge that we learned from doing research to you guys. A little bit more about myself. In high school, I did research in a physics laboratory at the University of North Texas. In that laboratory, I was able to publish some papers, and also I was able to gain honors such as the Davidson Fellowship and also the Goldwater Scholarship. Emily, do you want to give an introduction?
My name is Emily, and I am an incoming freshman at Rice University. I have done research in 4 different labs at UNT Rice and the Baylor College of Medicine. I'm currently in the process of publishing my first paper, and I have received several scholarships due to my research experience.
And Stephen?
Hi guys, Stephen here. My video is a little choppy, sorry. How is everyone today? I'm thinking. Let's circle back on this. I am doing great, thank you for asking.
Sorry, Stephen became a robot.
Oh wait, my robot took over for a bit. Anyways, I'm Steven. I'm the web designer and the computer science dude, as you can tell. And I also did research in the same lab as Kevin, and I did publish 1 paper.
All right, thank you, Stephen. So I'm just gonna give you guys a brief overview of all the things that we're going to cover today. So first of all, I'm going to give a definition of research and what to expect in a lab. And this is so that we're all on the same page. Next, I'm going to go over the various benefits of doing research. And I'm going to cover the experience and skills you can get, and also the various awards, scholarships, and boosts to your college application process. Finally, I'm just going to give a list of various competitions that you can apply to. By no means do you need to like take pictures of every slide or try to memorize all the information, because we'll be posting everything in an email later on, and also we have a website where all these information is displayed. Next, Emily will go over how to find research. She will cover how to email professors with the correct etiquette, and also the various research programs that are available for you to apply to. Finally, we're going to cover the, before the Q&A session, we're going to cover the research, the scope research service that we're providing to the community. And we're going to explain how you can engage in this service and use the assets that we bring to you guys. Okay, so starting off, I just want to give you guys this definition of research. Research is, this is the textbook definition, is the systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. What this really means is just asking good questions and then performing experiments and reaching new conclusions and creating new knowledge from those conclusions. So what does this mean for you? Doing research, usually your title will be either a research assistant or a research intern. And undergraduate students and also high school students, usually you're just going to be shadowing or assisting professors and graduate students in their experiments and work. And what you'll be doing specifically in those laboratories varies significantly based on, you know, where, what lab you're in, what subject you're in, but it can be generally split into two categories. The first category is a wet lab, which focuses on hands-on experiments. So you directly interact with your samples, with your apparatus. So you can see on the right, that's a picture of me pouring liquid nitrogen into the contraption. That's a wet lab. So you're doing physical work. The second category is a dry lab, which means that you can kind of do it anywhere you want. You don't need to be in a laboratory. And these are more like computationally based. So you're going to be coding programs, you're going to be analyzing data, things that can be done remotely. So for the majority of you guys, you'll be focusing on dry labs for now due to the coronavirus situation. Obviously, many labs are not open for students to go into. So wet labs may be out of reach for many of you guys, at least for this first semester. Hopefully the vaccine can solve this issue. Regardless of what lab you're in, the goal of doing research, the goal that you should be thinking about while you're assisting your professors and graduate students, is you're going to be changing and innovating the scientific frontier by adding new knowledge. Okay, now I want to go over the various benefits that research can give you. First of all, and one of the most important, is the experience and skills that you can get from doing research. Often, if you want to get into a career or maybe a clinical career, so like being a doctor or even being engineers, business leaders, all these careers require you to have knowledge that really only research experiences can give you. For example, like if you want to be a doctor or a programmer, then doing research in a field that is specific to wherever you want to go in the future, that's going to mimic kind of exactly what you're going to be doing in the future, right? And that's going to help you get into those fields better. And doing research really helps you learn new skills a lot faster. So over the summer, I was in a lab where I had to code some programs to help analyze data. And in doing so, I learned Python. And without doing research, I probably would have spent like maybe half a year or a full year trying to learn all the Python. But really, by doing a research experience and getting these hands-on experiences with the language, that really helps you learn things a lot faster. So research can really help you learn new skills. Also, obviously, half of research is communicating your work and writing about it. So you can really get a lot better communication skills and writing skills from doing research, either in the form of a paper publication or a poster presentation. And finally, you're going to get a lot of experience with data collection, which obviously is really important later on. And I wanted to emphasize why this is really important is because you can't really get these experiences from normal high school classes. These things are really like you can mainly learn these skills from doing research, from just doing it, rather than sitting in class. So that's why research can help you get new skills a lot better. Next, I want to just kind of cover the awards and scholarships and boosts to college application processes that research can give you. So a lot of the research scholarships and awards are very prestigious, and also just publishing a paper in general is really prestigious, because you think about how many high school students really do research and are able to publish papers, right? And on top of that, a lot of these competitions also come with a lot of money and other prizes. So that could also be another tangible way that you can see the benefits of research. And finally, these prizes and awards are really impressive on college applications. Again, not many other high school students do research, so by doing it, you can stand out among them. Also, faculty many times can write you really great recommendation letters. And since they're like faculty from professional institutions, college admissions officers might weigh that more heavily. Another thing is that research experiences can be an interesting essay topic. So when you're starting college applications, you need to write an essay about why you're personally motivated, so your personal statement essay. And I personally wrote about research during my during my college essay. So yeah, so these experiences can help you write an essay. And also by doing research, you're demonstrating an interest in your future major in college and also your job goals. And college admissions officers really do like seeing that students already have an interest and already are taking initiatives towards those interests. So here's the list of all the scholarships and competitions. By no means is this an exhaustive list. These are just a couple that we thought of on the spot. And again, you don't need to take a picture of this because we'll be posting this later. But this is just a general overview. So you can keep your eyes open and look out for these competitions. First of all, you have science fairs. So I know that Houston has a science fair, local science fair as well. And these science fairs go from local to state to international. I don't know if you guys have heard about ISEF, the International Science and Engineering Fair. That's like the international version of the science fairs I'm talking about. Next, there's also these presentation-based research competitions, such as Texas Junior Academy of Science and Texas Junior Science and Humanities Symposium. These are competitions where you present PowerPoint presentations about your research. And then there are application-based research competitions, such as Regeneron, Davidson, Goldwater, and the BioInstitute BioGenius competition. And these are more, instead of presenting your research, these are kind of like college application where you just kind of apply for these competitions based on your research experiences. And these competitions come with a lot of prestige and money. So I know the Regeneron Science and Talent Search, the top prize is $250,000. And Davidson Fellowship, the prizes range from $50,000 to $10,000. So they come with a lot of money, but also they come with a lot of prestige. So they are really great things to put on applications anywhere. And one last thing is you can also present at university-specific programs. So just keep your eyes out. Like for example, if you're doing research at Rice, there's something called the IBB Symposium. And also back at University of North Texas, where we used to do research, there was a competition called the Undergraduate Research Fellowship. So just keep your eyes peeled for these specific university competitions as well. Okay, so the last couple of slides, I kind of went over the pragmatic reasons, the practical reasons why you would want to do research, but now I kind of want to go a bit more personal. Okay, let me give you guys a question. Would you rather get all A's, have a perfect SAT and GPA score, or would you rather expand the frontiers of knowledge, potentially impacting thousands of lives worldwide? Now, I know that people can have different answers for that, but for me personally, I would definitely choose the second option all the time. And the reason is because research gives you a sense of purpose. As compared to grades and SAT scores, their purpose is too short-termed. The purpose of getting these good grades and SAT scores is to help you get into good college. And maybe later on, it'll also help you get into a good graduate school, but really it doesn't affect too much beyond that. Like when people try to hire you for a job, they're not gonna look at your biology score from 9th grade and see that you got a B and then they won't hire you. No, what they care about is the things that you do in the real world, things that have real world impact, such as research. And research really gives, well, at least for me personally, it gives me a sense of purpose, just because of how you can see that it's affecting the world around you and how it's tangibly there. Rather than having some, grades and SAT scores that only exist really in high school, it doesn't really matter too much afterwards. But by doing research, your legacy can be carried on for much longer. Your impact is much greater. So that's just a bit of a personal motivation for me, at least, why I really love research. Okay, so now I'm gonna let Emily take over. She's gonna give you a brief overview of how to find research. So. Emily, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, sorry, can I share screen? Or why don't you just do it then? I'll just tell you next. Okay, can you go back? Anyways, now that you have learned now that you learned the benefits of finding research, the next step is learning how to find research. There are mainly 2 steps as to how you can find research. The first step being direct contact. The second step being summer research programs. Next. Okay. Back. Sorry. Here I've listed 3 steps as to how to directly contact professors. The first one being resume building. Resume building is really important because it demonstrates your past experiences and interests and helps the professor learn more about you. It's totally fine to not have that much information on your resume. As when I first began, I only had about 1 to 2 pages of information. And that's okay. Professors don't really expect that much from you or expect you to have any research experience. The purpose of resumes is just to learn more about you and to leave a positive first impression. Okay. Next, after you have made a resume, the next step is to find professors to do research with. A good source of information would be the faculty page of your local university or college. These are good sources of information because it shows the academic background of specific professors, and it shows their research interests and their recent publications. These are really important aspects to determine if you are interested in their research. Additionally, you can ask any family or friends or anyone you know if they work in a research position, you can ask whether or not they will be available to mentor you. It is important to keep in mind that you should always try to conduct research on subjects that you are interested in. You shouldn't try to force yourself to do research on topics that are seemingly prestigious or thought to be cool. You should try to do research on subjects that you're interested in, or you're just doing the service to yourself. That being said, it is still good to keep an open mind on when you are exploring other research subjects that you might not think that you're interested in. For example, I've always been a very biologically focused person. I've always liked to do biology and wet lab research. And I hated computer science a lot due to my experience in AP computer science in high school. However, due to this pandemic, it caused me to have to explore other caveats of research because, I cannot go in person and do research myself. Thus, I joined a computational biology lab over the summer, and I surprisingly learned a coding language. I learned how to analyze data using R. So, yeah. After you have found the professors that you're interested in and you have read their research, the next step would be to email them. To begin, when you're emailing them, it's always important to address them respectfully and professionally. Some professors are really nitpicky about how you address them. Additionally, you should try to, if your professor has a PhD degree, try to call them doctor instead of professor, because professor is a more laid back term and can be used for both people with masters and PhD degrees. I think they generally like doctor more. Regarding the body information, there are 3 sections you should have in your email when you are emailing a professor. The first one being an introduction. Introduce who you are, what your grade is, what school you go to. The second section being demonstrate your interest in their research. If you've read their past publications, ask some questions about them. Or if you do not know what their research interests, you can even ask them to have a meeting with you so they can show you their interests. The third section will be used to help the professor learn more about you. You can show why personally you are interested in their research. And you can also ask for a meeting or even a position in their lab in the section. But you have to, throughout this email, you have to make sure to be very respectful and professional and use professional language. Also, it is very important to show appreciation. It generally is more beneficial for the student than the researcher themselves to have you in their labs because it takes a lot of time to train you. Thus, it is important to show that you appreciate their time and their effort and effort for you. Then other option to find research would be through research programs. I've just listed a handful of summer research programs in Houston and Texas area. Some of these programs are very specific. For example, the Welch Summer Scholar, I think only regards chemistry research. The downside of applying for research programs is that they are very competitive. There's limited spaces for students. Thus, it would be probably, if you wanted better results, it'd be better to do direct contact instead. Here, I just wanted to give some general comments and advice regarding directly contacting researchers. One thing that we did not mention before is that there is a little bit of an age minimum that is needed to enter research labs. You should be at least 15 or more safely 16 to join a research lab. Some professors and labs have more strict requirements, so it's important to know what the rules are in their lab. Additionally, you should always have backups of professors. You should try to choose a handful of professors and not just go for one, because sometimes they're really busy during that semester or summer, or they are not into having high school students in their labs, or they simply just do not respond. So it's important to have a group of backup professors, and try to email maybe a different professor after 3 days if they do not respond. Finally, if they don't respond or do any of the above mentioned things, it's okay. Don't take it as rejection. It's just try again, and eventually you'll find someone who is interested in allowing you in their lab. Regarding our service, we created this nonprofit organization so that, actually, let me begin again, sorry. We know how difficult finding research is. We know it's a long process and it can be really emotionally heavy. So we wanted to simplify this process for you by creating the service. We want to help optimize the research finding process for you by connecting you with professors that we have already contacted. On the students end, all you have to do is submit an application, and we will review it. This application will be sent in a future email. After we review it and select you as a candidate, we will connect you with a researcher who has already expressed interest in having high school students in their labs. Yeah, we just created the service because we did not want the lack of knowledge about this process or how difficult this process can be to limit your research potential and your participation in research. Here, if you just scan our QR code, is our website where you can check out all the previous information we have mentioned before and some additional information. Yeah, it's just a rather informational website to help you in your research finding process. I think Stephen will go next to show you.
Hold
Sorry.
on, real quick. Yeah, I just want to clarify real quick. Thank you for the presentation, Emily. I just want to clarify that you can either choose. So what Emily just kind of explained before was how to email professors on your own, find research opportunities on your own, right? So you can either choose to go down that route, but what we're doing as an organization is we're trying to find these research opportunities so it's much easier for you guys to apply and get into these labs. So again, it's up to you guys, but I do really hope that we can help you guys we can make the process a lot easier for people who are using our service.
All right,
Yeah.
you ready?
So yeah, now Steven's going to show you guys kind of what our service entails and how we're going to be accomplishing this this goal of connecting you guys to professors.
You have to stop screen sharing.
How do I stop screen share? Can you take it away?
There we go.
All right. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
So here is the landing page for the website. It has a bunch of information about how to find research and how to contact us if you need to message us about anything. When you press the login button, it'll bring you to a page like this. The login actually doesn't entirely fully work yet, so don't go on this yet. This is just going to be a demonstration of the features. So here, when you log in, I already have a couple of accounts that I was testing with. So after you log in, you can see that you immediately land at this project board. There's professors and students both can post on this project board by pressing this plus button to post a project. So I'll just give it a random project name.
Steven, I don't think you're sharing the right screen.
Abstracts. Oh, really? Is it?
You're sharing the front end. Share the app part.
Also, we just disabled the login because it's currently not ready. You can still use the website for other information under the information button.
Let's see. Can y'all see my screen share now? What?
No, you're sharing the front end.
Yeah, I know. 1 second. It's because the Zoom it thinks that I'm on this page right now. Let me just reshare it. Okay, everything working?
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, so after you log in, you'll land at this project board, and it has all the projects from all the students and professors. And there's ways you can sort it. Say like if you wanted to do physics research, you can just sort it by that. Or if you're a high schooler student and you can only, do projects that are searching for high schoolers, there's all these filters. And to reset all of them, just press this reset button. And you can post your own project by pressing this plus and posting it. And if you were to view someone's profile, you can view all their projects. And I mean, that's pretty much all the features for now. Most of the information you will get from the front end though, from the landing page. So from this place. But yeah, that's all I have.
So the landing page, Emily sent a link to the landing page in the chat. So you guys can visit that website and get all the information that we just talked about in this webinar. So you can get the email template, you can get all the tips that we have on this landing page. What Stephen showed for the app, don't worry about that for now. That's just kind of like a demonstration for future purposes. Because right now we're not allowing anyone to use that service yet. Again, what we're planning on doing is having you guys first fill out an application to us, because the professors need to make sure that the people that the students that they're getting are the top-notch students. I have no doubts that you guys are not top quality students, but we just need to do some quality control on our end before we allow students into our service. So again, don't worry about this page right now. You're not gonna be able to see this service yet, but for now you can still view the landing page for all the information. Steven, you're still sharing your screen, so
Oh yeah,
you could stop sharing your screen. All right, thank you, Steven. And just if you guys are curious as to how many professors we have already contacted, I think our numbers, we have around 10 professors who already have expressed interest in mentoring. I think, yeah, more than 10. I know there's at least 10 professors who have expressed interest in mentoring high school students. So I really do believe that what we can do is going to be helpful for the students out there who are really trying to find research. Okay, now I think that's about the end. Let me share my screen again. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's all the things that we had to bring to you guys. And now we can start our question and answering session. So if you guys could want to unmute yourself and ask any questions, or you could ask questions in the chat, depends on what you want to do. Now, we did get a question. I will actually first answer this question. I know that a student, when they filled out the form, asked us the question of how are we going to operate this? How are we going to do all this stuff during quarantine? That's a really good question, first of all. What we're doing right now, what we hope to do is we still hope to extend our service to the students, but we will be focusing mainly on remote labs. So that's going to be kind of how we're going to cope with this semester, being really dangerous for people to leave their homes and go into public areas. These laboratories that are remote, so basically dry labs, you can kind of do it anywhere, depending, well, obviously it depends on the professor as well, but it's a lot more flexible in terms of that. So hopefully, if you guys want to start research this semester and are looking for a dry lab, that shouldn't be too much of an issue that this coronavirus thing is going around. But if you are looking for a wet lab, say you want to do research in biology where you want to, test cells and stuff, that may not be too available for this semester just because of all the restrictions, and also the professors have to handle all that as well. So it's very difficult, at least for this semester. But keep your eyes open. There might come an opportunity for such a for such a opportunity. Yeah.
If you can't see the chat, we just addressed some questions. Regarding pricing, we are nonprofit, so we are free, that means. Regarding whether or not research is mainly in STEM fields, no, we are trying to contact English professors, political science professors, and subjects like that. However, yeah, anyways.
Yeah, good questions. And I just wanted to put it out there. It is a bit easier for us to contact professors because we are university students. And because of that, I guess they do tend to respond to our emails a bit more. At least for me personally, they respond to my emails. And now that I'm in university, a lot more than when I was in high school. So it is easier for us to contact professors, which is why we can extend this service to you guys. Because we know that it is more difficult for high school students to contact professors. And professors, Daniel, I see your question in the chat. That's a good question. Obviously, it depends on the professor, but actually, I've never seen any professors who make you pay to do research. In fact,
Actually,
professors.
to clarify, summer research programs can cost money.
Yes,
Sorry.
okay, that's the exception. But summer research programs are like a bit different than contacting professors the way that we're doing it. The way that we're doing it, usually professors are able to mentor you for free. Like you don't have to pay anything because what they're getting is they're getting your work and your knowledge as well. So it's not like, and also many times they also pay the students as well. So it's not, yeah, usually I haven't really heard of many professors who charge money to for you to work under them.
In fact, they might even pay you if you're doing a really, really good job about it. Yeah.
Okay, we have another question. So the question is, normally how long does the research projects last? The projects, obviously it depends on what project you're doing. But if I had to give a general estimate for like the median or the mean time range for a project, probably if you're doing over the summer, it might take the whole semester for a single project. I know if you're doing biological sciences, it might take a bit longer because you're dealing with live animals. So, you know, over the summer, when you have a lot of time to dedicate to it, it might take the whole semester. And over the school year, when you're trying to balance research and also classwork, it might take the entire school year. So research programs definitely last quite a bit of time. But you should spend a lot of time. You should not, here's some advice, okay? This is a bit of a tangent, but you should not go into a research lab, only spend half a semester, only spend like maybe 3 months, and then try to join another. Well, if you don't like what you're doing, you should you know, figure out that you don't like it early on, and then tell the professor that you're probably not too interested about this. But generally try to stay in a lab for over a year. That way you can get the most out of it, okay? Because it takes so long for the professors to kind of train you in the various projects that they're doing. After a year is really kind of when you start to get your own ideas and you can start doing your own projects. And it gets a lot more exciting after that. I know this from personal experience. When I first started in my lab, I was kind of discouraged because everything had a really large learning curve. So, you know, I wasn't getting much of the results and things that I expected. But after a year, I started to actually, I understood a lot more about the field, and my professor actually let me lead my own project over the summer. And that was really amazing experience. And I was able to get a publication out of that and also win some of the awards. So definitely I would advise you guys to stay in a lab for over a year, even if you think you might not like it in the beginning, because as you get more experience, things are gonna change.
Yeah, continuality, is that it? Continuity of research is really good, important. It helps the researcher learn more about you and help you more as well. Like write better recommendation letters for you, which are really, really important, especially if you have a dream school that is a little bit difficult to get into. Like I applied to Rice early decision, and I used a recommendation from my vice professor to, I guess, get in. So staying in a lab long enough or getting to know the professor is really important.
Yep.
I have a couple questions. Thank you so much for organizing this. And I guess, can you explain a little bit more about your organization in between connecting with the professor and the student? So if do I apply for your website, your service, and then I don't connect the professor directly, then I find out whether I get accepted or not, or do I need to still send my application to the professor or contact the professor?
Yeah, question. So the application part that I was talking about, yes, that's just for our website. The professors will not see it. The professors that we have on our website already are interested in mentoring high school students. So usually you don't even need to apply to their lab either. What we're hoping to do is the website that Steven showed you, the professors will post the opportunity. They will post, the subject and what to expect from the research opportunity. And then the students who we accept into our service, the students can look through all these opportunities and then choose whichever one they want to do. And then that sends a notification to the professor. And then the professor can choose between the students. Actually, I think now that I think about it, I think the students will need to send a what's it called, resume to the professors and send them an email still, but it will be the student can know ahead of time that the professor is already looking to mentor high school students. So that's the main advantage of going through our service. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
If you can also decide to, if you decide not to use our service, we have provided you the tools you need to email them yourself. The problem would be that we have already pre-screened our professors, so it's more difficult for normal high school students to find research in labs, and you'll face a lot more rejection, and we'll probably have to email a lot more people than if you just used our service.
Yeah.
So other question is all the professors on your I guess connected with your service, they mainly from Texas or is it from everywhere in the state? Or, do you
Yes. Good question. Yeah, we try to keep it within Texas. Actually, we try to keep it very local. So what we're doing right now is we're only reaching out to professors in the Houston area. So I know we have some from University of Houston. We have some from A&M. So this way, like in case if it is a in-person lab, we're just keeping it local right now. So you guys can also, commute to the lab as well. A lot easier.
If we do expand, we will try to do out of state as well.
Yeah.
So your service right now, the website is already, I guess, up to date, and then I can go ahead and apply right there, like say today, for example. Is that correct?
I'll put the link today. I'll put the link there by tonight on our website. Yeah.
I think the question was, can you apply to our service on the website? Right now, this is kind of confusing, so I'm glad you asked. Right now we have kind of like two websites. The first website is like the landing page where you can see all the information about finding research professors, and it's very static, so it doesn't like, you don't have to log in, you just view it like a page. The other website that we have is the app where professors are actually posting. It's kind of like a Facebook posting system. That thing you can't access yet. Number one, because we're still building it, and number two, because you need to apply in order to access it. So the application right now is not on the website. We can add it to the website, But what we're gonna do is probably much easier is you guys got the email that I sent, and that's how you're in this meeting. I'll send out another email with the application link later today, so you can apply. Yep, no problem. Okay. Right now is 2:50. We still have about 10 minutes. Yeah, the application link. Yeah, for sure. We'll send an email with the application link later
And
today
we'll put it on our website as well.
as well. Yeah.
I have another question. So the service you just provided is great. Also wonder about any coachings, like if we have questions, we can email you or anything like that to you.
Yeah, you can email our. Do you guys have our email? I'll send it to the chat as well. If you have any questions, you can email this email, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. There is no deadline. We're doing this on a rolling basis. But obviously, you know, if you want to have first access to the professors, you know, they might already, if you wait a bit of time, they might already get enough students. So it's better to do it earlier than later. Okay. Well, if there are no more questions, then it's almost 3 o'clock. We can end the meeting where we end the webinar now. And again, if you have any questions, you can always just email us later on. We're very responsive in that email. You can copy it or send. Well, actually, no, we sent you already an email through that email, so you should have our email address. Okay.
The first web address doesn't seem like working. It's researchweebly.com. It says 404 error. The page not found.
Could be
Did
the
you?
second one. Sorry, is it not working?
It says, do I have to use specific?
Interesting.
This is not found. The page not found.
Can you try this link again? Can you try the link I just sent?
The second link works.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I missed. I did a typo.
Okay.
Yeah, the one you just pasted, the login page, that one works.
Just want to specify that the login is disabled right now, but the information that you need to information is on there, but we disabled the login button.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yep. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to email us. Thank you guys so much for coming to our webinar. With that, yeah, again, that's all that we wanted to talk about today. So other than that, I hope everyone has a very safe weekend. I know there's a hurricane coming, so everyone please stay safe and, you know, have some fun. It's the weekend. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.